Oh, can you even imagine the nerve of these people? They seriously thought a measly HOA fine would have me, the chief of police, trembling in my boots and bowing to their outrageous, power-crazed whims. Little did they know, they'd just kicked a hornet's nest, and boy, were they in for a shock. What happens when I dig deep and uncover their slimy, illegal scheme, targeting our neighborhood's brave first responders? You bet I'm flipping the tables. Time for the hunter to become the hunted, and I'm ready to bring the fight right to their doorstep. Welcome to my channel, folks. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from, because this roller coaster's about to take off. I'll never forget that wild morning. Seriously, how does a day start so normal and then explode into something that flips our whole neighborhood upside down? I was just stepping out to my car, all set for another day, keeping the peace at the police station, when bam, something neon green screamed at me from under my windshield wiper. At first I was like, oh great, another takeout menu to toss. But then my stomach dropped. Holy cow, no way. It was an HOA violation notice, slapping me with a $79 fine for improper lawn maintenance. Are you freaking kidding me? There I was, decked out in my uniform, coffee steaming in my hand, staring at my lawn like it had personally insulted me. It was the same lawn I'd tended for 15 years, green, thriving, freshly mowed just days ago. Sure, it wasn't some manicured country club masterpiece, but it was clean, neat, and darn well cared for. Then, oh, you won't believe this, the sharp clack-clack of high heels echoed down the sidewalk. And I knew trouble was coming. Good morning, chirped this voice, so syrupy sweet it could rot your teeth, but with a bite that made me wince. It was Karen Mitchell, our shiny new HOA board member, strutting her stuff on her morning patrol, tablet gripped like a weapon. She'd blown into the neighborhood 6 months ago, guns blazing, campaigning for that board seat like it was her life's mission. Now, just 3 weeks in, she was turning our quiet little world into a living nightmare. Miss Mitchell, I said, keeping my cool, flashing that green slip, you want to explain this? My lawn's fine meets every sane standard out there. She didn't even glance up, just kept tapping away on her tablet like some HOA dictator. Section 7, paragraph 3 says, grass can't exceed 3 inches, she snapped, all prim and proper. Yours is 3 1/12 inches, clear violation. Tap, 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 probably nailing someone else with her petty rules. I sucked in a breath. My cop training kicking in. Don't lose it. Stay calm. Deal with the crazy. I've been slammed with a big case at work, I said, voice steady. I'll mow it this weekend. Problem solved. Rules are rules, she trilled, finally looking up with this smug little grin. That fine doubles in 72 hours if you don't pay up. Oh, and those garden gnomes? Not on the approved list. My garden gnomes? The ones my late wife picked out, each one a tiny treasure from our life together. My blood was boiling. Oh my God, was she for real? But I kept it together. Since when do we need permission for decorations that've been here over a decade? New board, new rules, she sang, waving her tablet like a victory flag. We're modernizing this place. No more tacky junk, tanking our property values. As she clicked off down the sidewalk, I saw her zero in on Sarah's house, next door poor. Sarah, RER nurse, who just dragged herself home from a brutal night shift saving lives. The last thing she needed was Karen swooping in like a vulture, griping about her trash bins being out too long. I watched, stunned, as Karen started snapping photos of Sarah's yard. Can you believe the gall? And something inside me roared to life. This wasn't just about my lawn or my gnomes anymore. No way. After 25 years in law enforcement, I could smell harassment and power trips a mile away. And Karen wasn't just enforcing rules, she was picking targets, hitting the people who keep this community running. Back in my car, I yanked out my phone and dove into the neighborhood Facebook group. Holy smokes, the outrage was piling up fast. Mark, our firefighter down the block, got fined for his kid's basketball hoop. Seriously? The sweet old couple across the street got slammed for their unapproved rose bushes. Give me a break. Even our local teacher got a citation for parking his car in his own driveway because it was too old and ugly. What is this madness? I was about to pull out when I caught Karen sneaking more shots of my gnomes like they were public enemy number one. She had no clue she just lit a fuse with the wrong guy. Being chief of police taught me something huge. The real crimes aren't always the loud ones. They're the quiet injustices that grind a community down bit by bit. As I drove to work, my mind was racing. Oh, I had a plan brewing. And Karen was about to learn. She wasn't the queen she thought she was. She had no idea who she'd tangled with or what I'd unearthed when I started poking into her pristine little world. 2 days after that absurd green ticket fiasco, brace yourself, because this is nuts. I rolled up to my house and nearly lost it. 2 hulking black SUVs with HOA security slapped on the sides were parked smack across my driveway, blocking me like some kind of standoff. I just survived a killer double shift chasing down a bank robbery downtown. All I wanted was to park, stumble inside, and collapse. But nope, Karen Mitchell had other ideas, didn't she? I sat there, staring through my windshield, watching her prance across my lawn in her fancy suit, tablet in hand, snapping pics of everything: my hose, my welcome mat, even the grass again. Every flash of that camera cranked my blood pressure up. Holy cow, the nerve, but I kept my cool. 20 years on the force taught me temper tantrums don't win battles. Excuse me, I shouted, stepping out, voice firm but calm. You're blocking my driveway. I need to get to my garage. Karen whipped around, her blonde hair swishing like she was auditioning for a hair commercial, and smirked. Well, if it isn't Mr. Johnson, our resident rule rebel. She stabbed at her tablet with those red claws of hers. Let's see, unpaid lawn, fine, unapproved gnomes, and now she paused, milking it, non-regulation mailbox color. I burst out laughing seriously. What? Mailbox color? It's been white for 15 years. New guidelines. Approved last week, she crowed, grinning like she'd cracked a cold case. Mailboxes must be pristine pearl white from Anderson Paint. Yours is classic white, totally different. Oh, come on. Is this woman for real? I whipped out my phone and hit record time to document this circus. Karen, I get you're new, but these SUVs are illegally parked, blocking my property. That's City Ordinance 2345. Her smile twitched just a flicker, but I saw it. I've got full authority as an HOA board member. She fired back, waving at 2 goons in sloppy uniforms lounging by the SUVs. These officers ensure compliance. That's when I spotted it. Their badges looked off, almost like police badges, but not quite. As chief, I know every security outfit in town, and Mitchell Security Solutions, not on the list. I took a breath. Okay, one last shot at reason. I see you're big on property values, but blocking my driveway over $79? That's not just nuts, it's illegal. I don't want to escalate this. Her face went scarlet. Ooh, I'd struck gold. A threat, Mr. Johnson, she hissed. I've got photos of every violation, and the board will hear about your attitude. She barked at her guards. Note his threatening behavior. They scrambled with their notepads, and get this, their patches were peeling like some DIY job. My cop's senses were on fire. Something stank here. I pulled up the city's license database, keeping Karen in my sights as she kept snapping pics like a lunatic. 3 taps, bam. No security company under her name or her brother's, who I'd seen in a matching getup at the last meeting. Right then, Mrs. Garcia bolted out in her nurse scrubs. Chief Johnson, thank God. They're blocking me too. I'm late for the hospital. I watched Karen's face when she heard Chief. Her eyes popped, and that tablet nearly hit the ground. But she doubled down, chin high. Your title doesn't scare me, Chief Johnson. Rules are rules. I've got more violations to log and fines for your attitude." As she stormed off, tablet hugged tight. I knew this was just the start. Oh, it was game on. Karen's HOA kingdom was about to crack wide open, especially once I dug into these shady security approvals. Who'd have guessed a lawn fight would expose something so rotten in our sleepy little neighborhood? Oh my gosh, can you even fathom the audacity of this? It all kicked off when Sarah, our incredible ER nurse who lives just 3 houses down, pounded on my door at 6:00 a.m., still in her scrubs, tears brimming in her exhausted eyes. She'd just survived a hellish overnight shift, wrestling with a bus crash, 16 grueling hours of saving lives, only to stumble home and find her front yard plastered with garish orange violation notices. "Chief," she choked out, her hands trembling as she thrust a stack of papers at me. "They're threatening to slap a lien on my house all because my garbage bin sat out an extra day while I was pulling a double shift during that chaos." Seeing this heroic woman, who'd poured her soul into helping others, harassed over something so petty, oh, it set my blood on fire. But wait, Sarah wasn't the only one getting hit. I started poking around, and holy cow, the stories just kept pouring in. Mark, our fearless firefighter on Maple Street, shoved citation after citation under my nose for his kid's basketball hoop. Can you believe it? That hoop's been there 5 years, no problem, until Karen stormed onto the HOA board. Then there's the Martinez family fine because their Christmas lights lingered 2 days past. Karen's random cutoff. Why? They were mourning at their grandmother's funeral. How heartless can you get? That evening, I sprawled out at my kitchen table, spreading all these complaints like a detective's evidence. Bored. Oh, the pattern was glaring. Karen wasn't just nitpicking. She was zeroing in on homes where folks worked crazy, unpredictable hours, first responders, nurses, doctors, firefighters, the people who can't drop everything to kiss her rulebook. My cop instincts roared to life. Something stank here. I grabbed a map and charted every citation. Karen had dished out in the 3 months since she seized Power Bam. There it was. A cluster of violations choking the homes of emergency workers and anyone who dared oppose her in the HOA election. This wasn't random nonsense. It was cold, calculated harassment. Then my phone buzzed. Tom, my deputy from the next subdivision, texting me, "Chief, you're not going to believe this. That flooding mess last spring? Karen's brother's company snagged the drainage repair gig, 3 times the cost of other bids." I sank back in my chair, replaying how Karen had smirked in my face earlier, brushing off my plea about my own fine with that smug, "Rules are rules." Oh, now it clicked these weren't rules. This was her twisted power grab, maybe even something darker. Right then, ding dong, my doorbell jolted me. It was Miss Chen, our sweet elderly widow from across the street, who's been here longer than anyone, she whispered. "Chief," glancing over her shoulder like a spy, "I saw them bolting cameras onto the streetlights today, no permission asked. Karen claims it's for security, but they're aimed right at certain houses, including yours." My jaw clenched. Unauthorized surveillance in my jurisdiction? Karen wasn't just a pest anymore. She might be breaking the law, but I needed rock-solid proof before I pounced move too fast, and she'd cry victim, accusing me of flexing my chief badge. As I escorted Miss S. Chen home, I spotted Karen in her driveway, yakking with 2 strangers in uniforms from her brother's security outfit. Something about them screamed off. My gut was howling, and after 20 years on the force, that gut's rarely steered me wrong. I shut my eyes, hearing my old mentor's voice. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Karen had crafted her little fiefdom of fear, but she'd gotten cocky too sloppy. She didn't see that while she was spying on us. We were clocking her every move. The real question now wasn't just nailing Karen. It was blowing the lid off her whole crooked empire. Staring at the growing stack of evidence on my desk, I knew tomorrow's HOA emergency meeting was going to be a fireworks show, especially when they found out who just quietly snagged a seat on the county's Housing Authority Oversight Committee. Oh, that's right, me. I tossed and turned all night. How could I sleep knowing Karen was terrorizing our neighborhood like this? Something felt rotten to the core. Sipping my morning coffee, a rookie cop lesson hit me. Follow the money, baby. Those security goons blocking my driveway were way too eager to jump at Karen's whistle. And their uniforms? Suspiciously fresh off the rack. At the station, I tapped Jenny in records to run a quick check on Elite Neighborhood Watch Services BAM. Within minutes, my hunch grew teeth. The company popped up just 3 months ago, right when Karen strutted onto the HOA board. The owner's last name, Karen's maiden name and the address, a shady P.O. box, not a real office. Oh, come on. On my lunch break, I swung by Sarah's place. She was dragging in from another hospital shift, looking like she'd been through a war. Chief, she called, waving me over. Another notice this morning. I can't keep up with these fines on my nurse's pay. She flashed a pile of citations, all Karen's handiwork, nitpicking obscure rules that screamed, screw the working stiffs. Back at the station, I dove into public records. Karen's brother, Tom Mitchell, had a trail of busted security firms across 3 states, all tanked by complaints of strong-arm tactics and illegal parking stunts, vanishing before the law could catch up. Shady much? Next stop, the county clerk's office. Mrs. Rodriguez, bless her, hauled out 6 months of HOA docs. Flipping through, I struck gold. Karen never disclosed her brother's company tie when snagging that HOA contract. BAM, a blatant conflict of interest violation. But the jackpot? Her home business registration. She'd been running an unlicensed daycare out of her garage. 6 kids at a time, breaking the very HOA rules she wielded like a club. No state child care license either. Oh, the hypocrisy was dripping. My phone buzzed. Mark, the firefighter, texting, Chief, check this out. Photos of Karen's security cars clogging fire lanes. Mark fumed. We couldn't get a truck through if lives depended on it. Dangerous? You bet. I spent the afternoon piecing it all together. Property maps showed Karen's fence creeping 2 feet past her line. My cruiser cam caught her goons blocking emergency access. And HOA financials screamed. She'd jacked up fines to funnel cash to her brother's outfit. Oh, it was a racket. The evidence was a mountain, but I had to play it smart. Karen had city council pals, so every I needed dotting. I copied everything digital. Physical years on the job taught me backup, save butts. Just as I wrapped up, Officer Rodriguez burst in. Chief, you won't believe it. Those security clowns tried booting Dr. Thompson's car at the ER entrance mid-surgery rush. My blood hit a boil. Oh, that was it, but I stayed ice cool. The final nail in Karen's coffin. I leaned back, eyeing my evidence wall. Karen had no clue the storm brewing. She'd left a trail of violations so blatant, even her HOA cronies would gasp. Timing was everything. When to drop this bomb for max damage? My phone lit up. Sergeant texting. Karen's pushing expanded security at tomorrow's emergency HOA meeting. I grinned. Oh, perfect. The best busts let the perps stroll right into their own trap. Walking into that HOA meeting, my heart was thumping. Game face on, though. Karen strutted up front in her designer suit, flapping papers about her safety program. More guards, cameras on every corner. The room oozed exhaustion. Everyone was sick of her tyranny, but too spooked to yap. I bided my time as she droned about property values. Ugh, spare me. She called for votes, and I raised my hand, my badge's weight in my pocket fueling me. Before we vote, I said, rising slow and steady, there's something you all need to hear. Karen's eyes squinted. I was just another neighbor out of uniform. I'm Chief Anderson, and I've been digging into some nasty business. Oh, the look on her face, priceless. Oh my goodness. Can you even believe the scene that unfolded? I yanked out my stack of papers, property records, business licenses, photos, and oh boy, did I have a bombshell ready. The projector hummed to life, flashing Karen's illegal home business setup for all to see clear as daylight. These pics show an unlicensed daycare running out of your house. Mrs. Mitchell against HOA rules and state laws, I declared, watching her face turn beet red. How dare you, she sputtered. That's my private property. Public records don't care about your privacy. I shot back cool as a cucumber, flipping to the next slide, bam. And neither does this business registration proving your brother owns Safe Shield Security, the unlicensed outfit prowling our streets. The room exploded in gasps and whispers. Oh, the drama! I pressed on, fueled by the fire in my gut, while you've been hammering Sarah Thompson, our ER nurse, with fines for her trash bin sitting out an hour too long after saving lives on night shifts. You've been running an illegal gig. While you slapped citations on Mark Rodriguez's kids for their basketball hoop, your security company's been strutting around without permits. Miss S. Chen leapt up, bless her heart, shouting, she fined me $200 for my Chinese New Year decorations. The floodgates opened, neighbors piling on with tales of Karen's vicious targeting. She lunged for her papers, ready to bolt, but Mr. Jenkins, our HOA prez, blocked the door like a champ. Hold up, Karen, we're not done talking. I laid it all out, every unfair fine, every bogus rule, every hypocritical twist. The room roared louder with every jaw-dropping reveal. Parents vented about fines for their kids' chalk art. Seriously? Seniors fumed over harassment about their gnomes and bird baths. Unbelievable. And here's the kicker, I boomed, unveiling the final slide. Her security crew's been dishing out tickets and blocking driveways with zero legal right, impersonating law enforcement. A major crime. Karen's perfect facade shattered. Oh, you should have seen it. You can't prove a thing, she shrieked. I was fixing this neighborhood. These people need rules. Rules go for everyone. I fired back, especially you. The room erupted in applause. Holy cow, what a moment. Mr. Jenkins called for a snap vote. Hands flew up everywhere. Karen wasn't just booted from the board, she was banned for life. As she shoved through the crowd, tears of fury streaming, she yelled, "This isn't over." But with our neighbors united, oh, it absolutely was. Justice sometimes wears a badge or just needs someone to shout the truth. I strode into that HOA meeting, my folder bursting with evidence, every scrap meticulously prepped. The place was jammed. Had I ever seen so many neighbors show up? Karen perched at the front, tapping her tablet like she ruled the world, not even glancing my way as I slipped in. Before we vote on her new security nonsense, I announced, rising from the back. Oh, the tension. I've got something for the board. Karen's head whipped up, eyes narrowing as I marched forward. For the newbies, I'm James Mitchell, 15 years here, and, oh yeah, you're chief of police. Whispers buzzed instantly. Her tablet crashed onto the table, clumsy much. Her brother, the security honcho, squirmed by the door, caught red-handed. 3 months, 47 fines, 35 hitting first responders and essential workers. I whipped out my first gem, a color-coded map, screaming the pattern. See anything fishy? Board members craned forward. Miss S. Thompson, our retired principal, peering through shaky glasses. But wait, there's more, I said, stacking documents like a poker champ. Mitchell Security LLC, unlicensed and breaking state contractor laws. Karen's brother bolted for the exit. Too late, buddy. My officers outside nabbed him. Karen leapt up. This is outrageous. You can't misuse police power for grudges. Oh, I didn't. I grinned. Everything's public record, like your home biz breaking section 7777. The room went wild, neighbors spilling their woes, the single mom fined for January. Christmas lights. The elderly couple hassled over their medical van. The teacher cited for chalk drawings insanity. Miss S. Thompson cut through the chaos. I moved to axe Karen from the board and audit every fine she pushed. Second, rang out 5 times bam. Karen's face blanched. You can't. I was guarding property values. No, I said, soft but firm. You bullied the defenseless game over. The vote? Unanimous see ya, Karen. She stormed out, handbag flailing, as neighbors hugged Sarah sobbing into Mark's shoulder. Free at last! I hung back, helping Miss S. Thompson start refund paperwork, $115,000 in absurd fines. Neighbors popped in with coffee, snacks, and Relief Tales Community Reborn. Next morning, I cruised by Karen's place, moving truck already there. Her brother's fake security rigs gone. Real patrols in their place, sweet justice. A week later, watering my lawn 3. 5 inches, thank you very much. Sarah's little girl dashed up with a card. Inside, a crayon masterpiece me in uniform, guarding a rainbow house, scribbled, "Thank you for making our neighborhood happy again." That card's on my desk. Now proof. The best police work can happen at home. We learned it's not about power, it's how you wield it. Karen? Heard she tried another HOA gig 2 towns over, but oops, our story beat her there. This video's just info and fun. HOA rules vary, folks. Word spread like wildfire. Kids reclaimed yards. No citation fears. Miss S. Thompson threw a barbecue grill sizzling. Laughter ringing, normalcy reclaimed. Driving to work, I'd catch neighbors waving. Smiles wide. Had we ever been this tight? Karen's reign of petty terror was toast, and we'd done it together. That meeting night, watching her unravel, oh, what a rush. Every slide, every fact, peeling back her scam neighbor's jaws dropping, then fists pumping. She thought she'd built an untouchable empire. Ha! We showed her rules don't bend for bullies. Sarah's tearful hug, Mark's relieved grin, worth every late night digging. That card from Sarah's kid? My badge of honor, proof a united front can topple a tyrant. Karen's exit tears, threats, and all felt like a movie climax. But the real win? Our neighborhood's heartbeat, strong again.